Now picture this. You are in a world where magic is everything until one mushroom-headed, cream puff-obsessed dude shows up and starts suplexing the entire system like it's leg day. Mashle Season 2 just dropped the mic. Or did it? If Season 1 was the warm-up where Magic Society got humbled, Season 2 is the full send. More ridiculous power scaling, even pettier villains, and that signature zero magic, maximum violence energy that genuinely makes you laugh. And we're taking a cave dive into this beloved comedy series. And answering the question, is this parody still cooking, or is it just riding the hype train? So grab your protein shake, hit that like button if you prefer muscles over magic, and let's just get into it. Mashle Season 2, does it slap, or did the magic finally run out? So a quick recap on Season 1 for any of you who missed the first video. Hit the link. We meet Mash Burndead, your average cream puff obsessed, mushroom headed king living in the woods with his gramps. Except this world treats magic like oxygen, and bro has exactly zero of that. No lines on his face, no sparks, just gains that could bench press a dragon. So Gramps and wannabe smoker over here sends him to Easton Magic Academy with one mission: fake it till you make it, all the way to divine visionary status. That's the elite club that basically runs the magic world. Mash proceeds to yeet every talent is destiny rule by straight up suplexing bullies, jumping brooms instead of flying them, and turning entrance exams into a one-man, strongman competition. And along the way, he collects a crew: Finn the loyal, Lance the prodigy, Dot the explosive simp, and our ultimate self-proclaimed fiance, Lemon of the Vine. Yes, I understand that it's Lemon Irvine, but I was just trying to make a joke, okay? Mash is out here low-key exposing how the whole system's built on elitism and bloodline crap. Season 1 ends with Mash proving muscles are indeed greater than magic in the most ridiculous, hilarious ways possible, but the world's not done testing him just yet. Fast forward to Season 2, the plot thickens harder like Mash after leg day, but the word's out. Our boy's magicless, and the higher-ups aren't really thrilled about it. Suddenly, it's not just about getting good grades or else, it's become a divine visionary or we erase you and your father. The stakes? They're sky high right now. Enter the Divine Visionary Selection Exam, a brutal, multi-stage gauntlet where the top students from every house go full send, competing for those elite spots. But while Mash is out here grinding through trials with pure physicality, a shadowy threat called Innocent Zero starts pulling strings in the background. Think dark mages, ancient grudges, and some next-level villain energy that makes the school rivalries look like playground stuff. It's basically Kaido making quick work of Kid and asking the question, are you done playing pirates? We get some serious character moments, wilder fight choreography, and the satire levels are up too. But let's stop flexing in the shallows and let's dive straight into the cave. Is Season 2 actually better than Season 1, or does Mash lack a little bit more than just magic? Straight answer, better. Not just more of the same better. It's the version that actually levels up while keeping the soul of the story intact. Season 1 was the fun intro arc where we all laughed at the parody. Season 2 is where the show stops warming up and starts throwing the real weight around. The action hits harder, the choreography goes stupid in the best way, and me personally, I did like the comedy a lot better this time around. They stop just poking fun at wizard school tropes and start roasting the whole born with power versus earned power system with more bite. Mash is still out here suplexing destiny, but now the consequences actually feel heavier. The side characters get real glow-ups, and the humor lands even cleaner because the stakes give it contrast. And that being said, yeah, it's not flawless. Sometimes the zero magic maximum gains joke just gets stretched a little thin in the later episodes, and a couple of the new villains feel like they walk straight out of the edgy, dark humor catalog without enough seasoning. But even those moments get carried by how ridiculously satisfying the fight scenes are and how lovable the core crew stays. We waste zero time getting into the plot of Season 2 of Mashle. Rumors about our Mushroom King spread through the academy faster than Dot can say explom, and the bullying kicks off immediately. But before anyone can even finish their trash talk, Mash gets straight up summoned to face the Divine Visionaries to decide his whole fate. No filler, no chill, just pure momentum. Episode 1 is straight fire in my opinion. They hit us with slick introductions to every single Divine Visionary, and the designs? Chef's kiss on most of them, exam. Some absolutely cook harder than the others, but two in particular had me locked in. First up, that long-haired blonde legend, Rio Grants. Dude looks like he controls light itself. And the second one that caught my eye, Order. You know, the one with the sand powers. This guy's whole vibe screams, I'm not convinced. He seems way more pissed that the school's letting Mash stick around, and he clearly doesn't respect the headmaster's plan to keep our boy enrolled. And I'm calling it right now. This is setting up a Gaara versus Rock Lee situation in the future. Mash is gonna make quick work of him with pure gains, while Order throws every grain of sand in the desert. Mark my words, it's coming. Overall, that opening episode had me hooked instantly. The way that they introduced the big players while keeping Mash's zero magic chaos front and center, pretty clean. And real quick, now that the anime has caught up to where it is right now, do you guys want me to read the manga and drop a review on everything that's going to be lying ahead, or are we keeping it anime only? Drop your vote in the comments. I'm down for whatever the squad wants. Back to the story. Right before the headmaster rolls up to ruin the whole party, Innocent Zero decides it's main character time and makes a dramatic entrance to the Divine Visionary. They basically put Mash on blast like, yeah, this mushroom kid right here, he's the one that y'all should be sweating. The setup is clean, perfect stage for Mash to show off right in front of the top dogs, and bro delivers. Casual as ever, he handles business while everyone watches. Most of them are low-key impressed, except for Order, who's still sitting there with that permanent "this offends me" glare. Then the headmaster and Rain Amos walk in. They shut down the bickering, and after a little bit of discussion, they drop the real ultimatum. Mash either becomes a Divine Visionary or it's lights out. No in between. And Mash doesn't even flinch. Just hits him with the classic bet. Just like you would if you asked him if he wants a cream puff. Bet. Right after that, we get some solid crew downtime, and I gotta say, their dynamic is low-key one of the best parts. These characters have zero business being friends on paper, but they feel like a real found family. The banter flows, the loyalty hits, and even when someone's energy isn't fully my cup of tea, the group chemistry still carries hard. They slide in a quick wand shopping scene that gives major Black Clover Grimoire ceremony vibes. Everyone's picking their new sticks until they get to this one ancient wand that's basically glued to the floor. Nobody can lift it. It reminds me of that one scene where Zoro starts testing out a cursed sword back in Logtown, but Mash walks up, yoinks it like it's nothing, claims it as his own. And that wand is gonna be his ride or die for the rest of season 2, and it matters later. Meanwhile, Order is on full villain timing. Dude's running side quests, plotting behind Mash's back, and straight up hiring lunatics to make sure that our boy doesn't pass. Or worse. I get the vibe. His name is literally Order. He's trying to protect the system, but bro went full antagonist real quick. And real talk, what is up with these students? These aren't halfway bullies. Half of them are straight up murder ready. We've got a crime syndicate trying to end the world, but the scarier part might be the next generation casually plotting to take each other out between classes. Is this just how magic schools operate, or is Mashle the only place where the student body needs its own wanted posters? It's wild either way. I know it was a quick tangent, but back to the story. Mash and the crew finally link up with Mash's dad, and it's nothing but vibes. We get some real emotional depth mixed with chill board game hangouts that honestly felt like one of those perfect sleepover nights with the squad. Just good energy, laughs, and low-key heartwarming moments that hit different. But while they're inside living their best life, a whole boss level fight is popping off right outside. Margaret Macaron, this wild musician dude, goes full send against Rain Amos. Now Rain's out here protecting Mash so he can actually make it to the Divine Visionary exam, and these two are not playing around. They're leveling entire chunks of the landscape, throwing around serious magic power scaling, and we finally learn that Rain Amos is a triple liner. The choreography in this fight had no business going that hard. Mash catches the tail end of it and does his signature internally shocked but face still stays default thing, classic Mash. And just like that, zero time wasted, we're thrown straight into the Divine Visionary exam. No long breaks, no filler. And yeah, I'm a sucker for a good tournament arc, and this one throws in the formula that we all secretly love about them. Coliseum setting? Check. High stakes? Check. And a fresh cast of wild designs where you can instantly tell who's gonna matter in this arc? Check.
Oh, the stand user could be anyone.
Right before the exam, Order tries throwing another shot at Mash right before it kicks off, but our our boy literally flexes on him, starts talking to his muscles, and strolls past like it's nothing. Stupid? Yes. Hilarious? Yes. Never change, Mash. And they drop the rules real quick. Round 1, capture the flag. Round 2, survival match. Round 3, straight up 1v1 battles. Will Mash make it through? Yeah, he does. But before we get there, this arc serves up some seriously cool moments worth breaking down. Round 1 was the only episode this season that kind of felt like filler to me. Now, it's got pure comedy vibes. Everyone's in full panic mode while Mash is out there just vibing like it's a casual gym session. He still needs a clutch assist from one senior though, and that guy ends up being Max Land. He's a solid dude, but low-key forgettable until that clutch moment at the end. That's also where we get properly introduced to one of the arc's standout new faces, Carpaccio, the purplish, reddish-haired menace who straight up hurts himself as part of his power. Wild concept and even a wilder execution. But after snagging the key, Max makes the call to let Mash push forward while he stays back to grab another one. And it turns into a heroic last stand defending our boy, which leads to an unfortunate end. And that's how we meet this fresh antagonist, full twirly mustached villain energy, like he walked out of a cartoon just to be extra evil. I still don't get it, bro. Why is everyone at this school ready to throw hands to the death? These aren't even hallway scrubs. They're straight up murderers. Where are the parents? Did nobody teach these kids that not everything goes your way doesn't necessarily mean time to commit felonies? Magic World parenting is clearly on another level. Even after this guy pulls some of the most disrespectful moves in front of the whole Coliseum, Mash stays unfazed. He just shrugs it off and keeps it moving like nothing happened. W Mash. Then we slide into round 2, full survival mode. We're in teams now, and the first squad to lose all of their crystals is cooked. The goal is to just outlast everyone else. And this is where things start cooking for real. Now, round 2 actually had me thinking that Mash was about to speedrun the whole thing. But nah, it's a comedy. So of course, they hand out 3 crystals and tell you, hey, make sure that at least one of these makes it through to the next round. And you already know where this is about to go. Mash and Dot immediately smashed their crystals. And I get it, it was for the laughs and the extra tension. But bro, that felt so incredibly forced to me. We all know that they would have coasted with 3, but still, I just turned my brain off and enjoyed the ride. I'll just let the show cook. They teleport everyone to random spots in this deep cave maze, which kind of defeats the team part, but whatever. The spotlight swings over to Finn, facing off against Carpaccio. And real talk, I love Finn. He's a solid dude, but I'm sitting here just like, why is he even in this exam? Give me the Puppet Master dude or the Demon Eye guy from the first season instead. Finn is too pure for this murder academy. Even so, he puts up a valiant effort, knowing he's holding the last crystal. The emotional beats hit hard. Dude's getting cooked, but still buying time, refusing to fold until Mash shows up. And Mash wastes 0 seconds. Mash quickly realizes that punching Carpaccio does nothing, so he just goes full brute force anyway. We get introduced to the Great Wand concept. These ultra rare sticks that pick their owners and grant special abilities. Carpaccio has one, which adds some fresh power scaling flavor, but the show still uses it to flex that Mash is just built different. The only thing that they haven't shown Mash beating just yet is a triple liner, though I'm sure the story will get to that point. Oh, and the fight looks clean too! Dope imagery, Mash tanking damage while using his new heavy wand in super creative ways. It's a whole new fighting style that actually feels fresh. After tasting real pain for the first time, Carpaccio has his little redemption moment. He reflects on everyone that he's hurt, especially Finn, and gains some respect. I'm still side-eyeing why the show keeps turning straight-up villains into future friends, but the character beat itself was nice. At the very least, he realized that actions have consequences. Meanwhile, Margaret Macaron is in the background casually dusting an entire team like it's a warm-up. Round 2 is cleared. Time to lock in for the real 1v1s in round 3. But before that, one of the Divine Visionary actually pulls Mash to the side in this locker room setting for a quick little let me test if you're actually ready moment. Now, you could call this locker room scene filler too, but they turn a straight up child's game into life or death stakes. And of course, Mash holds his ground like it's just another set. The Divine Visionary in question is Caldo. He's the one with the white hair and the signature red braids. He clearly shows respect for Mash's whole vibe, but he still hits him with the "you're not ready yet" talk. Mash doesn't need the approval though. He's locked in and about to show out in round 3. No cap, bro is ready to cook. Now, let's talk about the real problem that's walking around in the background with a piano. Margaret Macaron. This dude is unhinged in the best and worst ways. Sadistic? Yes. Clearly got a few screws loose? Yes. But he's built terrifyingly different. They brought him in as a top contender specifically to body Mash and keep him out of Divine Visionary status. The whole season had been quietly building up to this showdown, and it delivers. His sound-based powers, the studio straight up cooked. Every attack hits your ears in this weirdly satisfying way that makes you sit up. They knew what they were doing. But here's where I gotta keep it real. They gave this man way too much screen time. Every time that he charges an attack, we sit there for like 10 minutes. And don't even get me started on the long drawn-out piano solos. Bro would just start playing like he's in a concert hall while the fight's supposed to be popping off. I literally found myself looking at the side like I was breaking the fourth wall and just asking myself, or asking the fake camera, like, what are we doing? What am I watching right now? And they did it multiple times. Close to half an episode of creepy piano music. Like, I respect the vibe, but my guy, we didn't need 3 whole minutes of that twice. But still, when the actual fight kicks in, fire. Choreography, crisp. Mash has to get tactical to survive certain moves, and when Macaron reveals his true form and full abilities, the fight turns into straight heat. It genuinely feels like a season finale. Until you check the episode count and realize that we're only halfway through, the fake out was elite. Right as Mash stands tall, time mysteriously freezes. Everyone's got this red hue around them. Everyone's stuck like they're statues. Innocent Zero decides to crash the tournament, like Thanos pulling up to Wakanda like it's nothing. And I should also mention, since Innocent Zero is making their grand entry this season, I did a little digging and I found out that Innocent Zero is a group and also a certain person. So if I switch back and forth between singular and plural when I'm speaking about Innocent Zero, just know that's why. So Innocent Zero pulls up with time magic, and the Grandmaster Wahlberg is the only one who can even move to handle him. This is exactly why I love when tournament arcs go off the rails like this. The first half is always nice and formulaic, you know the pattern, but the second that chaos hits, it's one of those anything can happen moments. Peak anime. The scale this season feels way bigger than season 1 too. These attacks aren't just cool visuals anymore. They are leveling real terrain with real consequences. No plot armor cavalry coming to save the day. You're actually in danger. Tournaments are supposed to be predictable until they aren't. And when they break the formula, that's when the story gets so addictive. This arc was cooking on multiple levels. This has to be one of the cleanest, most hype setups for an arc finale that I've seen in a minute. The scale just completely shifts. It's like Luffy jumping into Marineford thinking that it's a normal brawl, only to realize that Whitebeard and admirals and the whole war is already popping off. And Mash is strong, yeah, but he doesn't have an answer for everything yet. And if the Grandmaster Wahlberg wasn't there, our boy would have been cooked. We see it clear as day. Time stops. Innocent Zero gently caresses Mash's face and calls him his son. The disrespect is actually insane. But after all of that tension, Wahlberg drops a clutch spell that lets the main cast snap out of the time freeze and join the fight. Innocent Zero's squad pulls up too, so everyone gets something to do. Well, everyone except for these two, of course. Wait, why? Aren't both of these guys next level? They should have totally woken up here. Yeah, whatever. Anyways, I get why they split the focus. You gotta give the crew their moments, but real talk, I just wanted to lock in on the big boy sky battle. Lance and Dot fighting Baby Man while 2 legends are throwing planetary level spells. Now, I'm just trying to watch the main event, not the undercard. Still, we do get some fresh Mash feats. That season 1 threat who felt unbeatable, bro gets turned into a scrub, headlocked, and done. Whether Mash got straight up stronger or he just stopped holding back this time, it felt a little short and underwhelming, but it could be the glow up showing. We cut back to the sky and it's pure cinema. Innocent Zero's crew is slinging dark magic and forbidden spells. They reanimate Wahlberg's old teacher and they keep his insane power, and they're using those abilities against Wahlberg. The tension is crazy, but Wahlberg is out here soloing Innocent Zero, his old master, and another elite without flinching. He's smiling, powering up, dropping some of the coolest spells spells that we've seen all season, but the flashbacks start hitting, and we all know what that means in anime. He pushes his limit, goes for one final god tier spell to end it all, and it doesn't land. That's when Mash Burn Dead steps in. I love how Wahlberg instantly accepts him, tells him to run. He knows that he's outmatched, but Mash still jumps in and gets his licks. Straight up flying leap, knee to the jaw on Innocent Zero. And Innocent Zero's whole plan? Apparently, it's to steal Mash's body for immortality so he can rule forever. He's also copying powers left and right, and it looks like he snagged some of the Grandmasters too. And then, just to be extra petty, he sends out this anti-magic beast to go destroy the Colosseum and all of the students in it. And I know this is an insane trope that I see in so many shows, but you know, it has to be this one person. You're the only one who can fix this. Since this beast has anti-magic, even divine visionaries can't touch this guy. You have to fight him with nothing but brute force. And oh, it's a good thing that we have our boy over here. But now that I'm thinking about it, why didn't Innocent Zero just cast a spell like that on himself? There'd be no need to dodge any of Wahlberg's attack if you had this all-encompassing magic negation spell. But whatever. Everyone watching realizes that Mash is the real deal. Magic or not, this dude holds his ground, and it's a touching little reflection on how far he's come in just 2 seasons. From the fake it till you make it cream puff addict to the hero that the whole school is rooting for. It's peak character payoff, and I genuinely thought that was the finale, but nope. Mash handles the anti-magic beast like it's just another heavy wand. He saves the Colosseum, and instead of riding off into the sunset, we get one more chill episode back at school. Full 180, written exams, heartwarming vibes, and everyone is just catching their breath. After that insane sky war where people almost died, we're suddenly back to make sure you bubble in the right answer, and I'm not gonna lie, that shift felt pretty jarring. The hype was still pumping through my veins, and now we're doing pop quizzes. It was a little skippable for me, but I get what they're going for. A soft landing after all the chaos. We even get a beach episode vibe where Wahlberg shows up fully dripped out in his vacation fit, just living his best life while still dropping the real talk on Mash and the crew about what comes next. The whole world knows that Mash is magicless, so of course the hate starts rolling in, but then we get this beautiful moment where one by one the students step up to defend him. We got the whole crew there and even Wahlberg himself to shut it down and set the record straight. It was such a solid "we got your back" payoff. And that showed how far Mash has come, from tolerated weirdo to someone that the school is willing to ride or die for. Now, for now, things calm down, but you and I both know that the story is just getting started. So here's the real question for y'all. I could wait for season 3 of the anime to come out for me to make my next cave dive episode, or I could dive into the manga and just keep this journey going. I love reading manga, and let's be honest, there are kind of spoilers everywhere for those of you who don't read manga. I'd rather stay ahead and experience it fresh, but I also understand and I get it if you want to keep it anime only for this series. Drop your vote in the comments. Manga deep dive or wait for the anime to come out? And I'm fine with whatever my beautiful anime and manga nerds decide for me. That being said, yeah, Mashle season 2 is significantly better than season 1. And in my opinion, it's not even close. Everything that we just cave dive through, the bigger stakes, cleaner fights, sharper satire, and that wild tournament chaos, it had me locked in the entire time. I'm slapping season 2 of Mashle, Magic and Muscles, with a solid 9 out of 10. Now, it's not perfect, you know, those piano scenes are just living in my head rent-free right now, but it's confident, hilarious, and levels up in every way that matters to me. And if you skip season 1, fix that. But if you've already watched it, season 2 is the real glow-up that you've been waiting for. But yeah, that's about everything that I got for you today on Mashle season 2. But if you enjoyed this episode of Cave Dive, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll catch you in the next video. You still here?